Moving on to the back, we're going to start off with our no guard all the way open, and we're going to continue to use our lever to blend out that initial guideline. Now we're moving on to our one guard all the way open to create our third guideline, and we're also going to use the lever to soften up this line and get ready for the half guard. Now that we're done with our lower guards, we can move on to our two guard all the way open and create our fourth guideline. This is right above the occipital bone, so we want to make sure we spend more time here. Now we're using our clipper over comb method to debulk and make sure our silhouette is nice and smooth. We're also making sure we use our horizontal cuts to debulk and our vertical cuts to blend. Before we line him up, we're going to make sure we separate the baby hairs from his top hair and make sure they're nice and laid down. I'm also debulking them with the one guard all the way open. Sometimes if the one guard all the way open doesn't work, you can close the lever a little bit. Now we can move on to our go to effects and start off at the middle, working our way to the sides. We're also going to make sure we go slow enough that the hair feeds into the teeth of the trimmer, because if not, then you won't line them up properly. As you can see, after he's done coughing, that the fade is coming together and it's starting to look real sharp and nice and smooth. Now that we're done lining him up, it reveals a few guidelines, so we're going to go back to the fade in detail. Now we're going to do the same thing on the right side, but before we do that, we're going to detail the fade a little bit. You always want to make sure you keep the vertical bars as natural as possible. You don't want to make them too pointy and push them in too much. Remember, I'm making sure that the hair feeds into the teeth of the trimmer. If you go too fast, then it won't work properly. Now that we're done detailing and fading the sides, we can move on to the top and create our first guideline and the top of the capitus, working our way to the sides. Again, I hope you guys are enjoying the video. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It's greatly appreciated. Also, if you guys want to show some extra support, leave a follow down below on my Instagram. Now that we're done cutting the top, we can move on to our Turkish Razor and Derby Premium blades and make them as crispy as possible. You always want to make sure you stretch the skin as much as possible with your opposite hand and keep the razor at a 45-degree angle. This lowers the likelihood of you cutting someone. Moving on to the back, we're starting off by debulking the back with our 3-guard all the way open, and we're also using our comb to feed the hair into the clipper. Now that we're done debulking, we can move on to our no guard all the way open and create our second guideline. We are right on top of the occipital bone, so you want to make sure you spend more time here and detail as much as possible. Remember to use your lever midway and all the way close and attack that initial guideline. Now that we're done erasing our initial guideline, we can move on to our 1-guard all the way open and create our third guideline. Now that we're done with the lower guards, we can move on to our 2 guard all the way open and create our 4th guideline. This is going to help us blend into the silhouette and also blend into our lower guards. Now that we're done softening up the line with the 2 guard, we can move on to the 1.5 guard and erase the line completely. Now we're using our clipper over comb method to debulk the sides and also make the fade as smooth as possible while connecting it to the silhouette. We're also near the calic area, so we want to make sure we leave enough weight here and leave it as smooth as possible. Moving on to his hairline, we're going to use our Annis T outliners to make him as crispy as possible, and we're also going to make sure we go slow enough that the hair feeds into the teeth of the trimmer, because if not, then the hair is going to shift and you won't line them up properly. When I line out my C-cups, I always start off at the bottom and work my way to the top arch using the corners of the blade. I'm going to saturate the hair a little bit so I can move it out of my way. Now that we're done lining up his C-cups, we can move on to the top and create our first guideline using our shears. We're going to pull the hair to our fingers, hold it as tight as possible while stretching it, and use our cutting blade to cut the hair. Also, don't forget to connect the guideline from the top to the sides, so you don't want to leave any hair hanging out from the sides. Again, I hope you guys are enjoying the video. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It's greatly appreciated. Also, if you guys want to show some extra support, again, go ahead and follow my Instagram. It's going to be in the bottom right hand corner. Now that we're done with our shear work on the top, we can move on to our Turkish razor and Durber premium blades and make them as crispy as possible. When you're using your razor, you want to make sure you stretch the skin with your opposite hand as much as possible, and also keep the razor at a 45-degree angle. This lowers the likelihood of you cutting someone.